Alright, hello again ladies and gentlemen. For today's video what we're going to be doing is a ballistics test with the Pellet Garden 45 grain slugs that I use. I'm going to be using a standard point, not my hollow points on this. And this video is going to cover, basically a penetration test. It was brought up by one of the viewers on another video where I was asked to shoot it through something that most people would have laying around the house. So what I have here is a bunch of scrap 3/4 inch plywood, and I'm simply just going to cut it into chunks and put 3/4 of an inch in between each chunk of the plywood and then shoot through that so that you can get an idea, and see what your guns are doing as well. Also going to cover the backstop that I use when I'm doing all my testing, shooting across the chronograph and things like that, and put it behind things and zero in the guns. And essentially all it is an ammo can that you duct tape a piece of cardboard or a piece of plastic, whatever you want, over the front of it so that you constantly got new targets, fresh targets on there. You can see where your impacts are hitting. Got to use the Gorilla Tape. It's the best duct tape on the planet. But I need to replace this cardboard anyway. As you can see, it's shot up quite a bit. Now behind the cardboard I have a couple of layers of high density foam. Bang, bang. 2 layers, basically about that thick, a piece, so it comes together. It makes about a 6-inch thick layer of the foam. That way any kind of bounce back ricochet type stuff, it's not going to be able to come back through that foam if it did ricochet. And then inside there I've got tons of layers of actually Kevlar body armor. Got it from a military surplus scrap, and it came out of a flak jacket that I bought. And as you can see, it stops the pellets perfectly. And several layers there. I've been shooting at this thing for years and I've had no problems whatsoever. It stops the Condor very, very well. It's pretty much the only thing I have that's gonna stop the Condor in one little compact package. And then underneath the layers that have been all busted up, I've got yet another layer, and you can see this is what the originally looks like. Stack it all inside of an ammo can, and voila, you've got yourself a pellet trap. Drilled some holes in the side of it along here so I can put golf tees, things of that nature in there, and then stand targets on it, little paintballs, golf balls, poker chips, whatever you want. But as you can see, it is pretty dinged up on the back, and that's just simply from the power of the Condor hitting it, at about 6 or 7 feet. It still dents the back of it, but it will not penetrate. Alrighty, and for today's gun, what we're going to be using again is going to be my Airforce Condor. It's set up to launch these 45 grain pellets. I just chronographed it the other day at 975 feet per second. The third shot went 971 feet per second. The first shot was on a Coyote, so I'm not sure how fast that thing went, but I'm going to, guesstimate right about 970 something feet per second, which is cranking out right at 95 foot-pounds of energy with the hollow point slugs. So let me get this thing all set up. We'll take it out in the backyard, and I will show you guys what 95 foot-pounds of energy and a 45 grain slug will do to 3/4 inch plywood, and hopefully that'll eliminate some questions, and then you guys can do the same thing at your house. So stay tuned until then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so here we go. Got our 3/4 inch plywood, 5 layers deep, 3/4 of an inch in between, held together with my little wood clamps as tight as I can clamp it together, so hopefully it won't move anywhere. Then of course we're going to have it downstairs on the backstop, which is all a bunch of busted up concrete and things. And to recap, we're going to be using my Airforce Condor that's set up for 95 foot-pounds of energy with the pelletgarden.com 45 grain solid slugs. I'm not going to be using the hollow points on this because I've got a lot more of the 45 grain slugs than I do the hollow points, and I use the hollow points on Coyotes. So this will give you a good idea, just something you could throw together at home in a few minutes and figure out, kind of sort of how much power, and also inform you what, damage you can do with 95 foot grains of or 95 foot-pounds of energy in a air rifle. So let me go get everything set up in the backyard, and we will continue to film this. Alrighty, so here we go. Well, today's guest of honor, the squirrel I whacked with my talon this morning. That guy's set out here for coyote bait. But the gun we're using again is my Airforce Condor. It is got the Talon Tunes carbon fiber tank pumped up to 3,500 psi. Heavy hammer spring. Talon Tunes quick change top hat wide open with the 35,000 washer underneath, and then the 14-inch Generation 6 shroud. You know, a lot of internal little tiny things here and there. You know, a lighter trigger spring to make it 11 foot-pounds of energy, and then my armor sight night vision scope. Hopefully there's enough cloud cover that it won't make it too difficult to see through the scope. And the target sitting straight down range. Zoom in. And readjust because I had to move my camera. There we go. That is our target area right down there, and of course we've got the slow motion video, and we have the standard speed video down there on the other end with the Sony cameras. Bang! Ah, come on! Of course, it just popped a tiny bit too much. There we go. Centered up. Here we go. 45 grain pellet garden slug. Solid. All right. Alrighty, so here we go. After digging around just a little bit, ended up finding the slug, and you can see it's basically completely destroyed, mushroomed out nice and good, and got the nice rifling marks on there where it grips the barrel. But yeah, 45 grain slug, 95 foot-pounds of energy from 20 yards out. Went through the 2 layers of the 3/4 inch plywood. You know, a nice little entry, exit. Perfect little clean hole, exit, and a big dent. So thanks to Talon Tunes for all the parts. Thanks to John out there at pelletgarden.com for all these magnificent pellets and all, or slugs rather. And gentlemen, keep up the fantastic work on all the stuff you guys are doing for the hobby, and I will keep making videos to entertain people. So until next time, keep shooting and stand by, have fun.